Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a sort of group spotlight video on a very exciting group that I can't wait to see in the Walking Dead television series, currently in the Walking Dead comic book series, and that is the Whisperers. We're losing them. Keep walking. Catch up when they stop. Alright, so this was one group I really just couldn't wait to do a kind of character spotlight on, even though we don't know much about them up until this point, aside from their tactics, what they do, what they're about, and how they survive in the zombie apocalypse. We don't know if they have some kind of maniacal leader or something of the sort, or who's kind of how many of them there are. How many survivors does this group actually have? And it's very hard to say because, of course, even in the pages when we've seen them, we don't know how many of them are actually survivors, part of the Whisperers, and we don't know how many are actually just straight up zombies. It's hard to tell unless you can see the back of their masks or their skins that are sewed together on the back of their necks, of course, or the back of their skull. You really just, there's really no way of knowing unless they're holding a weapon of some kind. So I'll put the link in the description to the wiki article so you guys can go ahead and check it out and read it for yourself. But basically it sums up the Whisperers as a mysterious group of survivors who disguise themselves with roamer skin to blend in and not get noticed. They are first introduced in issue 130. In terms of members, the only one we know so far is Lydia, who has actually been captured by the Hilltop group by Paul Monroe and basically taken back for questioning. That would be up to issue 135. So from here on out, I mean, the rest of the story hasn't been released yet, so we'll just have to wait and see what else will happen with this group. But I do see them as a very, very interesting group of survivors, unlike anything we've seen before. And also, people have brought up there are some fan theories that possibly Morgan from the TV series could be connected to them, because he did talk about in Clear people wearing dead people's faces, which at the time you're just thinking he's crazy and that kind of thing. But this group is exactly that. It's exactly what they do. What they do is they take these zombie skins and they wear them, they sew them together, they put them on like masks, and they cover themselves in, basically zombie clothing and this kind of thing, and skins, so that other zombies do not attack them. Very, very interesting idea, like camouflage, kind of like the Michonne thing where she would have the walkers with them, but even more so than just masking her scent, because sometimes walkers would kind of realize that she was a living person there as well too, right? And they would attack her. But with these characters here, I get the sense that because they're wearing and they're totally covered with it, zombies won't have anything to do with them. They won't even, think about attacking them or anything of the sort, because what we find out from Lydia is that they actually live with zombies. They follow the roamers, the zombies around. So they'll actually join a zombie herd and kind of follow them. And if the herd attacks a group or something, I'm imagining, or I'm thinking that they'll probably go in afterwards and take whatever supplies they can find as the zombies go through, and they can kind of live with them. And that's kind of her what she says, why they do it and why they're why they wear it, is because that way they can totally just live with them. Sooner or later you have to live with them, since in this time stream, or in this world, the zombies that are still alive, they are actually the top of the food chain, and people have been moved down from the top of the food chain to below them, right? Because they have the population, they have everything, they've basically taken over, right? So it's a really interesting strategy for a zombie apocalypse. It's one I have kind of given my thoughts on before, and I think it's really, really smart. Now who came up with it? Was it Kirkman? Was it Gimple? Was it Kirkman's idea, from what Morgan says in the episode that Gimple wrote, which was Clear in season 3, which back then we had no idea what he was talking about, or if that's even what it meant, if he was even discussing this. So in terms of the TV series and when we're going to see this group of villains, I don't agree with the theory. I don't think we're going to see them before we see Negan. I think it's still going to be, you know, kind of the same thing, and we'll probably see them afterwards. But it would be cool if they kind of included one or two here and there in the next couple of seasons, just to kind of give us the idea that they're kind of out there. You know, maybe have a character overhear zombies talking and have us think he's crazy or something. Similar to what happened in the comic book series with a couple characters, Marco and Ken, where they hear the zombies whispering and they think they're going, or, you know, like the zombies are learning to talk or something, or they're somehow able to talk. But no, in fact, it's just this group that actually moves around with them and carries, you know, swords and, you know, butcher knives and other things like that, shotguns in some cases, and basically uses the zombies to their advantage. I mean, wouldn't it be like if you were to attack another group, kind of like the Merle strategy, which is to use zombies for your side against another group, right? But with the Whisperers, they could go even a step further than that, because they could probably go up to a herd of zombies somewhere nearby, and they could kind of push them in a direction. They could kind of lead them and get them following them and lead them right to the gates of the hilltop, or one of, you know, Rick's group at Alexandria, or any one of these different locations, if they wanted to attack. And yeah, it would work perfectly. The zombies would probably follow them or get pushed in that direction, because they do tend to push each other and kind of form up in herds and go through. So they could attack a group, you know, with that kind of strategy, and walk right in with them, you know, and maybe get a couple of them to smash down, you know, the parts the zombies can't do, you know, locks or something like that, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Just really, really interesting, cool group, interesting idea, and I just can't wait to find out more about them. Up until this point, that's about everything we know about them, just that they're, you know, seemingly a bunch of twisted individuals that, you know, adhere to this strategy, and it works for them. It works for them in the zombie apocalypse world, so they can easily blend in, and they can use the walkers to their advantage in attacking other survivors and take their stuff or do whatever they have to do. So really interesting group is the Whisperers. I'm excited to see what happens with Lydia. I'm excited to see if Carl might join them, or if something happened to that. I mean, there's not enough right now to say that's going to happen, or really say for sure or do a prediction, I don't think, but it certainly would be an interesting possibility, and just can't wait to see more of the group. And eventually when we see them in the TV series, I'm thinking probably like season maybe 9 or 10, to tell you the truth. If they continue on this current speed, which is where they're going a lot slower through the series, they're adding a lot more things in, they're giving characters more concentration, it might be seasons 10, 11, 12, something like that. Maybe 8 or 9 if they go through the Negan stuff more quickly, or they just want to kind of bring him in. I think it's a good idea to have them there as a concept. If the ratings ever go down, you could bring in this group and the ratings would shoot back up, I guarantee it. Because people just, they're probably the most interesting group we've seen so far. Very, very interesting idea. Even more so than the Hunters or Terminus or any of the others we've seen before. Really, really crazy, horror, scary type group of survivors that I cannot wait to see in the series. Let me know what you guys think about the Whisperers from what we've seen so far in the comic book series, and when you think we'll see them in the TV series. Do you think I'm estimating too much time? We're in season 5. You know, the Negan stuff could be at least a few seasons, maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me know what you guys think. I think it'll be a while, though, but I can see them kind of bringing in 1 or 2 here and there just to get us thinking in an episode, and then bring it back a season or 2 later. Kind of like how they do with Morgan. You know, they show him, then they show him again, you know, that kind of thing. I could see them doing that with the Whisperers, too. Anyway, I like to call them the Leather Faces. Let me know what you guys like about, what you think about them, and if you like the video, please thumb it up below. Please like it. If you want to help support the channel, feel free to share it. If you have a Facebook or Google+, you want to share it with your friends, let them know about this group that they can anticipate seeing in the TV series eventually. Go ahead and share it out. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you for the next one. As always, it's Trev saying peace, guys.